All objects here have the same color but with different settings, so let's make this in Blender. First, we're going to add a circle, so let's Shift A, Mesh Circle. Rotate it 90 degrees, select bottom half, and delete vertices. Grab bottom vertices and E to extrude. Extrude again by X and scale. Select two vertices and then press M to merge them. Now select all, E to extrude, and S to scale. You want to repeat this several times. Select bottom part, S to scale and 0, G to move. Delete vertices in the middle. If you're not sure if there are more duplicated vertices, press M and merge by distance. Press Ctrl R to add loop cut. Select all and E to extrude. Let's do Ctrl R, add a loop cut, escape to snap it in the middle, and Ctrl B to bevel it. Add subdivision. So we're going to Modifier, Subdivision Surface, and we're going to add more loop cuts to support. Let's do right click and Shade Smooth. Now let's add an array modifier. So under Modifiers, Array, select Z-axis and put count of 3. We're going to adjust this later. Now add a cube, and that's going to be our floor. So scale this and move down. Scale something like this. Let's go to front view and add a camera. Now select View, Align View, and align active camera to view. Now we can change the resolution, and by pressing N, go to the item and position your camera even better. Now you're watching from your camera view and you can change your scene. You can adjust the floor by scaling it until it fits your view. And you want to add another cube to be your wall, so scale and position. Duplicate it also. So something like this. Maybe lower, put it down. We're going to adjust this later. We want symmetrical look, so we're going to duplicate this. We are going to add a pool, so we need to adjust our bottom cube. Look from your camera view and scale it down. We need to add a loop cut. So now we're going to into edit mode, Ctrl R, and escape to snap it in the middle. You want width to be smaller than your arch width. So Ctrl R to add a loop cut again from the other side and bevel it so you can get a face, and E to extrude it. Get a depth of the pool. Let's move walls to the back. So go to 7 to the top view. G to grab and move them to the back. Okay, move the other one. Press 0 to go to camera view. Select your arch, go to modifiers, and you're going to change your offset to get a better view of your depth. Now we're going to add some objects. So select your Blender file to find what you want to append. So here's going to be our cacti collection. I have a tutorial on how to make this cactus, and if you want to append another object, you can do that by following the same steps. Position it. So we're going to move that. Go to the side view by pressing 3 and move it to the side and down. Go to the front view and move it somewhere in the middle of your arch. And because we are following symmetry in this tutorial, we are going to duplicate this one and move it by x-axis. And because you want symmetry, but you want some parts to be offset, we are going to rotate it just a little bit. Now we're going to add some details to the arch. So go to the edit mode, select faces, and you want to press I to inset, E to extrude to the back, and I to inset it again because you have a subdivision surface on. So let's add another loop cut. Okay, like this. Control B to bevel this. And repeat I to inset, E to extrude, and I to inset again. In this composition, we have a large monotone part at the bottom of our image. So we want to add pull ladders that are going to be accent for our negative space. So we are putting them to the right side following basic composition rules. So we want to add a Bezier curve, rotate it. Let's go to the edit mode. Rotate the top one so it's straight. Let's do E to extrude, R to rotate, and E to extrude again straight down. It's pretty simple. Now you want to change your geometry and add round bevel. Select the depth you like, and let's do Shift D to duplicate it. Position that. Now we want to go to the edit mode. Select a vertex, Shift D to duplicate it, E to extrude, and rotate it. One and then the other one, so you get the horizontal part. And because we duplicated it, we already have the same bevel applied. We want this part straight for our ladder. Grab both vertices and move it to position. You want to select a vertex and move it if it's wider than you want it to be. So when you like this part, just select those vertices, duplicate it, and move it by height, making a ladder. Shift D. Okay, let's make another one. Again, Shift D. And you want to select all parts, Control J to join them together. So you want to go back to the object mode, scale and position your ladder. Don't forget to check your camera view by pressing 0. So now we're deciding when we want to put them, like to the side. Now let's do front. Next, we're making water, so add a plane. We want to add ocean modifier and scale it down. Now select shallow water and select to repeat on y-axis several times until you reach the end of your pool. You need to position your first one at the beginning of your pool. So go back to your camera view and adjust the water. You need to change depth to 5, scale down waves, also lower choppiness. And let's append another object, so it's going to be our curtain. We are using objects from our previous lessons, so if you want to make a tutorial will be linked. So we are going to scale this and position it. Let's try the last and the first arch. So we are adding this object to add interest, so we want a dynamic to contrast our plain wall. And in the sculpt mode, you just want to model, grab parts like it's windy, something like that. So we want to model it like this. Just add one brush, adjust radius, and pull parts. This is beginner friendly tutorial, so don't hesitate to work with sculpting. So we're going to duplicate this, rotate, and add some more sculpting because we don't want it identical. Whenever you like, and we're going to delete the ones we don't want. Something like this. So for the clouds, we are going to add icosphere, and we're going to convert this to cloud. So play with the shape, extrude. You don't have to be precise because it's going to be converted to volume. So play with your shape. You want to duplicate this. Control L to select linked parts of an element, but make sure you turn off your proportional editing. And you want to go to 0 view and position them. Add more duplicate, play with the shape. Now you want to add a volume empty and add modifier mesh to volume to select your icosphere as object, and we want higher voxel amount and hide your icosphere. Now add another modifier, volume displacement, and for the texture you want to select clouds and select size you like. Now let's do materials. Go to the shading, select world, and we want to select environment texture, so add your HDRI. You can go to your render view and see how it looks. So we have some materials already for the objects we added through Append, and select object, add a new material. We're going to change color to white, so F and change the density. Now select your arch, add new material and put the same color. Now you want to change your roughness and link materials to the wall. Select your curtain materials and change again to white. So let's lower the roughness this time and get more plastic look. So set transmission to high to get something transparent. And add a material to the floor. Again change to white. Let's lower the roughness so we get reflections from our objects. For the ladder we are setting a roughness to 0 and metallic to 1. And to change pots, we're also going to add material with white color, let's change roughness and for the cacti too, but now let's change the let's lower the roughness so it's different. For this object we are going to change the spike to white also. We want to change this to all be the same, just to see the difference in color, in the same color. So we want to change the water material from principal BSDF to glass and set IOR to 133 and lower the roughness. And we are going to put caustics on also. Let's see how a render looks like. So let's add more interest on the walls. So we're going to add displacement from any texture you have. So connect it with displacement, control T to add coordinates and mapping, and adjust the side, lower the height. And because this is all white, we are going to lower exposure and render it, and you can see the same color with different effects and textures. And let's change that color and see the same effects. So pick any color you want, and remember this color depends on your lighting, HDRI this time, and your camera angle, not only texture. So pick any color you want and just change it and see your results.